The the unexamined life isn't the empty one. It's the overproduced one. The unexamined life isn't the empty one. It's the overproduced one. That one line reframed my whole summer. We quote Socrates to push ourselves forward, towards more. Find the gaps in our lives. Go build it bigger and better. This time, when I was thinking about that quote, it flipped on me. The best moments I have with my kids are the ones I stopped trying to produce. Let me explain what I mean. Socrates said, the unexamined life is not worth living. And for most of my life, and I'll probably fall back into this trap, I heard that as a push towards bigger and better things. Examine your life, find what's missing, and go build it. This summer is teaching me something different. And I'm starting to think the examined life isn't the one you grow, it's the one you finally hear. Now, it's our second week of summer. The first week is always chaos, a new schedule and last minute events before break. The second week is when we settle into that rhythm, and so far I'm loving it. It's taken the better part of a decade and a lot of help from my wife to figure out what actually works. The chore charts hang in the window right behind where the kids eat breakfast because summer mornings without visible structure devolve into negotiations by 9 a.m. My oldest needs to see the shape of his day, or the open-endedness feels like a free fall. So he gets workbook pages too. 20 minutes of math and grammar. They give him a floor to stand on before the rest of the day opens up. My middle one is wired completely differently. She races through her chart before noon because finishing things and checking off that list is its own reward. The point was never the charts, it's what they buy. A morning with enough structure that the afternoon can be genuinely unstructured. The things that you kind of have to do create the room to get to the things you actually want to do. Now, does that mean sibling squabbles over the TV still? Yes. Yes, it does. But it also means there are pressure release valves built in and a way for each kid to get to the thing they love. It's all basic and mundane. But when you get to sit on a cooler and drill your son on Latin pronunciations and he feels like he's getting the top of your attention, that's connection. That's the thing. That's the kind of thing worth examining and making space for. That's kind of what shifted Socrates' quote for me. The examined life stopped being about reaching for stuffing more into the day and became about reaching into the day I already have and finding it deeper than I thought. I noticed while I noticed it while I was examining our life out loud for an interview I gave recently. Somewhere in answering the questions, I realized our summers sound differently now. In summers past, I tried to synthesize and curate a sound like in a studio for our family. And I'm not knocking that version. I love what a studio can produce. And when your kids are little, you have to produce it all. They can't carry a part yet. So you build every track yourself. Headphones on, heads down, making the summer schedule and routine work. But here's what took me years to notice. When you're producing, you're not listening. You're too busy making the sound to hear the one already in the room. And when you can control every part, nothing can surprise you. You never have to be flexible. That's the unexamined life, not the empty one, the overproduced one. This summer, we're playing jazz. It isn't optimized. It's hot, humid, summer vibe kind of sound. And my job has changed. I'm not producing every part anymore. I'm keeping time. I know the songbook well enough to hold the changes so that the family stays in rhythm, which means I'm prepared for the breakouts and the rule bending. It assumes a friend invites one of my kids over at the last second. It assumes the pool might be the only thing that saves an afternoon when we're going feral trapped inside the house. Those chore charts are just one way of how I keep time, but that makes it so that the kids can take on their solos. My oldest reads the shape of the day and improvises inside it. My middle one finishes early and turns the empty afternoon into her own thing. Her solo looks nothing like his, and it isn't supposed to. Yesterday, I dropped my boys off at my mom's so I could take my daughter to an eye appointment. When I came back to grab them for a dollar movie with friends, my mom offered to keep my oldest after the movie. Have ended up home alone during the swim lessons this afternoon, anyways. So why not let him have a solo afternoon with his grandparents? It probably meant the pool, but it was probably the kind of one on one nobody could schedule. But everybody recognized the second it appeared. That's the thing about jazz. It's the size of the room it's played in. You can't scale it. You can't really optimize it without killing that resonance that made it worth hearing in the first place. The studio version let me stay in control. Jazz asks me to be found. I hope you find your rhythm this summer. Yours has one. What does it sound like when you stop long enough to hear it? I'll see you next week. My name is Jacob Pannell, and this is Faithful Fatherhood.